Have you ever noticed how some women effortlessly captivate attention while others seem to fade into the background no matter how hard they try? It's not about being prettier, smarter, or more charming. It's about energy. The way she carries herself, the way she makes others feel when she walks into a room. And queens, let me tell you something powerful. This magnetic energy isn't something you're born with. It's something you create. It's not about chasing someone or convincing him to see your worth. It's about stepping into your power and becoming the woman he can't help but be drawn to. Now, let's get real for a moment. Have you found yourself stuck in the exhausting cycle of overthinking in relationships? You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing, wore the right dress, or gave him enough of yourself to make him stay. You've tried everything, texting at the right time, playing it cool, being low maintenance, and yet it still feels like he's slipping away. Or worse, maybe he already left, leaving you with nothing but unanswered questions and an ache in your chest. And in that void, you start wondering, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? But let me tell you something, queens. You were always enough. The problem was never your worth. It was how you were giving it away to someone who didn't deserve it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's what this is about. Realizing your power, reclaiming your strength, and understanding that the energy you carry is the most attractive thing about you. Think about a flower blooming in a garden. It doesn't beg the bees to come to it. It doesn't reach out, desperate to be noticed. It simply blooms, beautifully, unapologetically. And the bees come to it naturally, drawn by its vibrant colors and fragrance. That's the energy of a queen. She doesn't chase anyone. She doesn't adjust her light to make someone else comfortable. She shines, knowing that the right people will see her brilliance without her having to prove a thing. When it comes to relationships, the biggest mistake women make is giving too much of themselves too soon. You hand over your energy, your attention, your heart, hoping that it will make him stay. But queens, when you give away your power like that, it doesn't make him respect or value you more. It makes him take you for granted. It's not because you're not worthy. It's because you're offering something rare to someone who hasn't earned it. And here's where everything changes. When you stop chasing, stop giving, and start owning your worth, you become magnetic. Picture this. A flame doesn't chase the moth. It burns brightly, and the moth can't resist it. That's the kind of energy you want to cultivate in your life. It's not about being cold or playing games. It's about knowing your value and refusing to settle for anything less than you deserve. Because the moment you stop trying to make him see your worth is the moment he starts to notice it. The moment you stop chasing is the moment he starts to wonder why he's the one being left behind. But queens, let's be clear about one thing. This isn't just about him. It's about you. It's about understanding that your happiness, your confidence, your life doesn't revolve around whether or not he notices you. It's about becoming so whole, so radiant, that his attention becomes a bonus, not the goal. Because the truth is, a queen doesn't wait for someone to choose her. She chooses herself first. And yes, I'm calling you queens, because that's exactly who you are. But being a queen isn't about arrogance or perfection. It's about self-respect, self-love, and self-worth. It's about walking into every room like you belong there, knowing that your presence is a gift, not something to be taken lightly. It's about showing him, and more importantly, showing yourself, that you don't need to beg for attention or love. You're already worthy of it, just as you are. Think of a phoenix rising from the ashes. It doesn't cling to the flames that tried to consume it. It uses them to rise higher, to shine brighter, to become untouchable. That's the energy you need to embrace. Stop waiting for him to validate you. Stop wondering if you're enough. Queens, you've cried enough. You've questioned enough. It's time to rise. It's time to reclaim your power and show the world exactly who you are. The love you're looking for doesn't start with him. It starts with you. When you learn to love yourself fully, to pour your energy into your growth, your joy, your dreams, something incredible happens. He becomes drawn to you, not because you chased him, but because you became the kind of woman who doesn't need to chase. And when he sees the fire in your eyes, the strength in your step, the way you've built a life that doesn't revolve around him, he won't be able to ignore it. Because that's the power of a queen. She doesn't ask for attention, she commands it. So, queens, this is your moment. Your future is watching. What will it see? A woman who waits and wonders, or a queen who rises and reigns? The choice is yours. It always has been. Queens, if this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power you've always had within, then don't keep it to yourself. Every like, every subscription helps us continue creating content that lifts you up, inspires you, and reminds you of your worth. We pour our hearts into these videos for you because your growth, your strength, and your journey matter. By liking this video and subscribing to the channel, you're not just supporting us, you're joining a community of incredible women rising together. Let's build this space of empowerment where every queen knows her worth and claims her crown. Your story is unfolding beautifully, and we're honored to be part of your journey. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep rising together. You've got this, queens. We believe in you. Number 1. Your energy is the magnet, not your effort. Have you ever wondered why some people seem effortlessly magnetic? It's like they don't even have to try. Others are just drawn to them. But here's the secret no one tells you. It's not about what they do. It's about who they are. Their energy, their confidence, their sense of self. It all creates a pull that's impossible to ignore. And queens, this isn't just some gift they were born with. It's something anyone can cultivate, including you. The key to drawing him closer isn't in trying harder or doing more. It's in becoming the kind of woman who shines so brightly that he can't help but be drawn to you. Let's be honest. When you care about someone, it's natural to want to show them your best. You overthink every little thing, what to say, how to act, how to make him see your worth. You give and give, hoping that if you just do enough, he'll finally notice what he has in you. But let me tell you something, queens. Attraction doesn't work that way. It's not about effort, it's about energy. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. True attraction comes from knowing your worth and carrying yourself with the quiet confidence that says, I am enough. Think of the sun. It doesn't chase the planets, begging them to orbit around it. It simply shines, and its warmth and light naturally draw everything toward it. That's the kind of energy you need to embody. When you're secure in yourself, when you let go of the need to prove your value, you create a magnetic pull that speaks louder than words. He'll feel it. He'll notice. And he'll be drawn to you, not because you chased him, but because your energy makes him want to stay. Relationships thrive when there's balance, when both people see each other's worth and meet in the middle. But when you're constantly overextending yourself, trying to convince him of your value, you tip that balance. Instead of focusing on what you're doing, focus on who you're becoming. The right person won't be drawn to you because of how much you give. They'll be drawn to you because of how much you shine. Imagine you're a lighthouse standing tall on the edge of a rocky shore. The ships don't need the lighthouse to move closer. They're drawn to its light because it's steady, reliable, and unwavering. That's the energy you need to bring into your relationships. You don't need to chase anyone or force them to see your worth. Just stand firm, shine your light, and the right person will find their way to you. Queens, it's time to stop thinking you need to exhaust yourself to keep someone's attention. You've cried enough. You've questioned your worth enough. It's time to rise and remember who you are. Look in the mirror. That reflection staring back at you. She's stronger than she realizes. She's not broken. She's rising. And when you carry that energy, you become irresistible. Not because of what you're doing, but because of who you are becoming. The strongest attraction isn't about appearances or performances. It's about authenticity. When you walk into a room knowing exactly who you are, you don't need to say a word. Your energy does the talking for you. Stop focusing on how to impress him and start focusing on how to impress yourself. Build a life that makes you proud, and you'll find that the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. Your energy is your power. It's what makes you unforgettable. And when you channel it into becoming the best version of yourself, you'll find that you no longer need to chase anything or anyone. Instead, you'll attract everything you deserve. Because, queens, you're not here to beg for attention. You're here to reign. This is your moment to step into your light and let the world and him see you for who you truly are. Repeat this affirmation with me. I am the magnet. My energy draws everything I deserve. Queens, write it in the comments below. Let it be a reminder of the power you already have within you. And if this message resonated with your heart, if it reminded you of your strength and the queen you were born to be, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We work tirelessly to create lessons like this for you because your journey matters. Let's rise together, queens. You've got this. Number 2. Silence speaks louder than words. Have you ever felt the deafening silence after giving your all in a relationship only to be met with indifference? It's a strange kind of pain, the kind that forces you to wonder if you were ever truly seen or heard. But here's something most people don't realize. Silence isn't a void, it's a language. And when used with intention, it's one of the most powerful tools you have. Queens, sometimes the loudest thing you can say is to say nothing at all. In that quiet space, something remarkable happens. The absence of your words, your energy, and your effort begins to speak for you in ways you never imagined. Relationships thrive on the exchange of attention, affection, and energy. But when he starts taking your presence for granted, your silence becomes the mirror that reflects his behavior back at him. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Apply this wisdom to your love life. Don't argue, don't explain, and don't beg for attention. Instead, let your silence show him the kind of woman you are. Strong, self-assured, and unwilling to settle for less than you deserve. Imagine this. You've been a warm, steady flame in his life, always reaching out, always making the first move, always trying to hold things together. He grew used to your warmth, assuming it would always be there, no matter how little effort he gave in return. But what happens when that flame goes quiet, when it stops flickering for him? Suddenly, the room feels colder, darker. Your silence becomes the space where he's forced to confront the emptiness he didn't notice before. That's the power of silence. It forces him to feel the loss of something he once took for granted. Queens, this isn't about playing games. This is about reclaiming your energy. When you stop filling every silence with explanations, apologies, or desperate attempts to be heard, you create a void. And that void does the talking for you. It's in the quiet that he begins to wonder why you stopped trying, why your energy shifted, why he feels unsettled without your presence. Silence isn't just an absence of words, it's the weight of your boundaries, your self-respect, and your unwillingness to settle for less than you deserve. Think of a diamond resting on a velvet cushion in a jewelry store. The silence around it, the lack of distractions, only amplifies its brilliance. That's you when you stop chasing, stop over-explaining, and stop giving away your energy to someone who hasn't earned it. Your silence magnifies your worth. It becomes undeniable. And in that stillness, he's drawn to you, not because you demanded it, but because your energy now commands it. But let me be clear, queens. Your silence isn't just about him. It's about you. It's about creating space to heal, to grow, and to reflect on what you truly want. It's about realizing that you don't need his validation to feel whole. You've cried enough. You've given enough. Now, it's time to take your power back. Silence is not weakness. It's strength wrapped in calm. It's the quiet assurance that you're enough, just as you are, without needing to shout it from the rooftops. The love you're looking for starts with you. When you shift your focus from him to yourself, you transform. You become the kind of woman who doesn't need to be chosen because she's already chosen herself. And queens, that kind of energy is magnetic. The moment you stop trying to fill the silence with words, he starts leaning in, drawn to the mystery you've created. So, what will your silence say? Will it speak of a woman who knows her worth, who refuses to beg for attention, who understands that her value isn't tied to someone else's recognition? Or will it echo the pain of someone who gave too much without receiving enough in return? Queens, the choice is yours. Take a moment to look in the mirror and remember who you are. You're not broken. You're rising. And your silence? It's your strength. As you move forward, repeat this affirmation. My silence speaks my strength. Write it in the comments below, queens. Claim it. Own it. Let the world know that you're no longer chasing anyone's attention. You're standing tall in your power. And if this message resonated with you, if it reminded you of your worth and gave you the strength to reclaim your energy, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to create life-changing lessons for you because you deserve to live as the queen you are. Together, we rise. Together, we thrive. You've got this. Number 3, stop being a chapter, become the story. Have you ever felt like you were just a fleeting moment in someone else's story, a passing chapter they skimmed through, barely noticing the depth of your pages? Maybe he treated you like an option, like something temporary, while you were giving him everything. It's heartbreaking to feel like you're pouring your soul into a story he isn't invested in. But queens, here's the truth that will change everything. You are not a chapter in someone else's book. You are the story. And the moment you realize this, everything changes. Not just for you, but for how he sees you. There's a saying, be so confident in who you are that you become unforgettable. When you step into your full power, when you stop trying to fit into someone else's life and start living for yourself, you go from being a passing thought to the kind of person he can't stop thinking about. He won't just see you as someone who was nice to know. He'll realize you're the story he should have never let slip away. Think of a powerful novel, the kind that grabs you from the first sentence and doesn't let go. That's who you are when you embrace your worth. You're not the background character in someone else's journey. You're the main character of your own. And queens, being the main character doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up as your authentic self, with all your flaws, your strength, and your light. It means knowing that you don't have to prove your value to anyone. It's already written into every part of who you are. Picture a lighthouse standing tall in the middle of a storm. It doesn't chase the ships in the sea. It doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply stands there, shining its light, guiding those who are meant to find it. That's the energy you need to embody. You don't have to chase him, explain yourself, or try to convince him of your worth. You just need to stand tall in your truth, shining so brightly that he can't help but notice. When you stop being a chapter, when you become the story, you'll notice something incredible. Suddenly, you're not waiting for him to choose you. You're not begging for attention or validation. You're living your life on your terms, building your dreams, and loving yourself in a way that makes you unstoppable. And that energy, that's what draws him, or the right person, to you. Because nothing is more magnetic than a woman who knows exactly who she is. But let's be honest, it's not easy to get to this point. You might still feel the pain of being overlooked or underestimated. You might be holding on to the heartbreak of wondering why he couldn't see your value. Let me remind you, queens, pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Don't let his inability to see your worth make you doubt yourself. Let it fuel your rise. Every tear you've cried, every moment of doubt is shaping you into the woman you're meant to be. You're not broken, you're rising. And when you rise, you don't just tell a story, you rewrite it. He may have walked away thinking you'd stay stuck in the chapter where he left you. But queens, let me tell you something. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. You're stepping into a new chapter, one where you're not waiting for someone to see your worth. You're already living it, unapologetically. And when he looks back, he'll realize he wasn't a part of your story because he didn't deserve to be. So, queens, here's what I want you to do. Stop seeing yourself through his eyes. Look in the mirror, because that's your biggest ally. The woman staring back at you. She's been through the storms, survived the heartbreak, and yet she's still standing. She's ready to claim her story, to own every page, and to create a life so beautiful, so full, that no one could ever mistake her for anything less than extraordinary. This is your moment to stop waiting and start building. Stop being the chapter and become the story he'll never forget. Say this affirmation with me. I am the story, not a chapter. Write it in the comments, queens. Let it be your promise to yourself. Your declaration that you're done settling for less than you deserve. And if this message resonated with you, if it lit even the smallest spark inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working tirelessly to bring you lessons that remind you of your power, your worth, and your potential. Together, we rise, queens. You've got this. Number 4, don't chase him. Chase your own potential. Have you ever wondered why chasing him only seems to push him further away? Why the more you give, the less he seems to notice? It feels like you're pouring your heart into a bottomless well, hoping he'll finally see how much you care. But queens, let me tell you this. The moment you stop chasing him and start chasing your own potential, everything changes. Because the truth is, the energy you invest in proving your worth to him is energy that could be transforming you into someone he can't help but be drawn to. Think of a river flowing freely, carving its own path. It doesn't beg the rocks to move out of its way. It simply keeps flowing, growing stronger with every twist and turn. That's the energy of a queen who focuses on her own growth. She doesn't chase anyone. She builds herself, and her presence naturally commands attention. As Rumi once said, "Don't be satisfied with stories. Unfold your own myth." Stop trying to fit into his narrative and start creating your own. When you chase him, you're telling him and yourself that his validation is more important than your growth. But when you shift your focus to your potential, something incredible happens. You start to bloom. You rediscover the dreams you've put on hold, the goals you've pushed aside, and the person you were meant to become. And in that transformation, you don't just become attractive, you become magnetic. It's not about making him regret leaving. It's about showing yourself that you never needed him to shine. Picture a lighthouse standing tall and unshakable, guiding ships to safety. The lighthouse doesn't chase the ships. It stands firm, its light shining brightly, drawing them in. That's what happens when you stop chasing and focus on building your life. You become a beacon, strong, radiant, and impossible to ignore. The right person will see your light without you having to prove a thing. Relationships aren't about losing yourself to make someone else stay. They're about two people bringing out the best in each other, meeting as equals. If you're constantly chasing him, you're giving away your power, leaving little room for him to respect or value you. But when you invest that energy into yourself, you create a life so full, so vibrant, that he can't help but take notice. The strongest fires don't need to beg for attention. They light up everything around them just by burning steadily. Queens, chasing your potential doesn't mean ignoring him or playing games. It means becoming the kind of woman who inspires admiration, not by trying harder to keep his attention, but by being fully, unapologetically yourself. Imagine the impact of walking into a room with confidence, knowing you've built a life that makes you proud. That energy is irresistible. It says, "I don't need you to complete me. I'm already whole." There's a powerful freedom in realizing you don't need to chase anyone to feel worthy. When you focus on your own journey, whether it's pursuing a dream, finding your purpose, or simply becoming the happiest, most fulfilled version of yourself, you step into a different kind of power. And the irony? That's when he'll start to notice. Because nothing is more attractive than a woman who knows her worth and refuses to settle. Remember, queens, the love you seek doesn't start with him. It starts with you. You've cried enough. Now it's time to rise. Every setback, every heartache has prepared you for this moment. Stop waiting for permission to be amazing. The time to focus on yourself, to chase your potential, is now. He may have walked away, but you're still standing, and you're about to become someone he'll wish he hadn't let go of. So let's end with this. Look in the mirror and remind yourself of the woman staring back. She's not broken. She's rising. She's stepping into her power, not for him, but for herself. Say this affirmation with me. I don't chase, I grow. My light draws what's meant for me. Queens, write this in the comments below. Claim it, own it. Let the world know you're done chasing anyone but your own greatness. And if this message lit even the smallest spark in your heart, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're here, working hard to bring you lessons that remind you of your worth, your power, and your potential. Together, we rise, queens. You've got this. Number 5. The flame that burns. Steady, never fades. Have you ever watched a candle burn steadily in a quiet room? Its soft, unwavering glow draws your eyes, offering comfort, warmth, and a sense of calm. It doesn't flicker wildly to get your attention, and it doesn't burn out quickly, trying to prove its worth. It simply exists, steady and true, captivating without even trying. That's the kind of energy you need to embrace, the steady flame that never fades. It's not about being the loudest or the most dramatic. It's about creating a quiet confidence that speaks for itself, drawing him in without a word. Relationships often feel like a whirlwind, don't they? You find yourself trying to keep his attention, doing everything you can to stand out in a world full of distractions. But queens, the truth is, the ones who stand out aren't the ones who fight the hardest for attention. They're the ones who are grounded, unshakable, and confident in who they are. A steady flame doesn't chase. It burns with purpose, knowing that the right person will be drawn to its light. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." In relationships, this translates to focusing less on how you think you should act to win his heart, and more on becoming the best version of yourself. When you stop performing, stop chasing, and stop molding yourself to fit someone else's expectations, you step into your true power. And that power, it's magnetic. Imagine the difference between a firework and a lighthouse. A firework explodes into the sky, demanding attention for a brief, brilliant moment. But a lighthouse, it stands firm, offering light and guidance through even the darkest storms. It doesn't need to scream for attention because its steady presence is its strength. In relationships, being a lighthouse means grounding yourself in your own value, refusing to burn out for someone who isn't steady enough to handle your light. It's that quiet, consistent energy that makes him unable to look away. Queens, you don't need to compete with anyone to be seen. Stop dimming your light because you're afraid it's not enough. The truth is, the more you stay true to yourself, the more irresistible you become. Men are drawn to women who radiate confidence, not because they're the loudest in the room, but because they're the most authentic. A flame doesn't apologize for its brightness, it just burns. And let's be honest, it's exhausting trying to be everything for someone who doesn't even know what they're looking for. If you're bending over backward to keep his attention, you're giving away your power. Queens, it's time to take it back. The right person will never need to be convinced of your value. He'll feel it in the way you carry yourself, in the steadiness of your love, and in the strength of your boundaries. Think about the stars in the night sky. They don't compete with each other to shine brighter. They simply exist, each one glowing in its own time and space, creating a beauty that can't be ignored. That's the kind of energy you need to embody in your relationships. Be the woman who knows her worth, who doesn't fight for someone's attention, but instead commands respect and admiration simply by being herself. That's the kind of flame he'll be drawn to, and it's the kind of flame that will never fade. This isn't about playing games or pretending you don't care. It's about understanding that your energy is precious and should only be shared with someone who sees its value. Queens, you've cried enough over people who didn't appreciate you. You've questioned yourself enough over someone who couldn't see your worth. Now is the time to rise, to step into your power, and to let your light shine unapologetically. When you do, he won't just notice you. He'll be captivated by the way you never lose yourself trying to please anyone else. Remember, the strongest flames aren't the ones that burn the brightest for a moment and fade. They're the ones that burn steadily with a quiet intensity that lasts. Be that flame. Be the light that guides, that inspires, that captivates, not by chasing anyone, but by standing firm in who you are. Queens, This is your time to reclaim your power, to stop waiting for someone to validate your worth, and to start living as the woman you were always meant to be. Repeat this affirmation and write it in the comments below. I am the flame that never fades. Let the world know that you are stepping into your power, one steady and unstoppable moment at a time. If this message spoke to your heart, if it reminded you of your strength, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We pour our hearts into creating life-changing lessons for you because you deserve nothing less. Together, we rise, we shine, and we reclaim our thrones. You've got this, queens. Let's keep building this incredible journey together. Number 6. You're the mirror he's been avoiding. Have you ever wondered why some people can't seem to look you in the eye when they're around you? It's not because you're invisible, it's because you reflect something they're not ready to face. Queens, this is what happens when you become the mirror he's been avoiding. When you step into your confidence, your worth, and your authenticity, you show him everything he's been running from, his own doubts, his unhealed wounds, and the truth about what he's missing. And that reflection, it's powerful, it's magnetic, it's unforgettable. The truth is, we're all mirrors in relationships. The way you carry yourself, the energy you bring, reflects back to the people around you. When you know your worth and hold your boundaries, you shine a light on areas in his life he may not want to see. It's not about pointing fingers or exposing flaws. It's about living so fully in your own power that he can't help but notice the gap between who he is and who he could be. And queens, the right man won't run from that reflection. He'll rise to meet it. Think about a lighthouse standing tall on the shore. Its light doesn't chase the ships. It stays steady, unwavering, illuminating the path ahead. That's the energy you embody when you become his mirror. You don't chase him, try to fix him, or force him to see your value. Instead, you stand firm, shining a light so bright it becomes impossible for him to ignore. And when he's ready, when he's willing to face himself, he'll be drawn to that light, not because you begged for his attention, but because you've shown him what's possible. Sometimes, though, being the mirror is uncomfortable. It might make him question himself or even pull away temporarily. That's okay. It's not your job to make him ready or to wait for him to catch up. As Epictetus said, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. When you know who you are, you don't shrink yourself to fit into someone else's life. You grow unapologetically and let them decide if they're ready to meet you where you stand. Remember, queens, the strongest relationships aren't built on perfection. They're built on growth. And growth only happens when both people are willing to face their truths. By stepping into your power, you're not just showing him what he's missing, you're showing him what's possible. You're reminding him that love isn't about settling, it's about rising together. And if he's not ready to rise, that's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of where he is on his journey. Imagine a diamond sitting in the sunlight. It doesn't dim its brilliance to avoid making others uncomfortable. It sparkles boldly and unapologetically, reflecting the light in every direction. That's what you are when you live as a queen, a mirror that reflects truth, beauty, and strength. The right man will see that brilliance and rise to meet it. The wrong one? He'll look away, and queens, that's his loss, not yours. This is your moment to stop dimming your light for anyone, to stop chasing love that's not ready for you, to stop explaining your worth to someone who should already see it. Your power isn't in convincing him, it's in becoming the woman who doesn't need to. Let your growth, your confidence, and your joy be the reflection he can't ignore. Because when you do, he won't just be drawn to you. He'll realize what he's been avoiding all along. The incredible woman standing right in front of him. So, queens, take a deep breath and look in the mirror right now. That reflection you see, she's the hero of your story. She's been through the pain, the doubts, and the heartbreak. But she's still standing. She's rising, stronger and more radiant than ever. You're not here to be anyone's backup plan. You're here to shine, to grow, and to remind him and yourself that your worth has never been up for debate. Here's your affirmation. I am the mirror that reflects truth and power. Write it in the comments, queens. Say it out loud. Claim it as your truth. Because the love you seek starts with the way you see yourself. And if this message spoke to you, if it reminded you of the strength and beauty you've always had, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We work hard to bring you life-changing lessons because you deserve to live as the queen you are. Together, we rise, we thrive, and we build a life no one can ignore. Number 7. Unpredictability is the essence of desire. Have you ever noticed how the things that captivate you most in life are the ones that leave you wondering, what happens next? Think about a gripping book you couldn't put down, a movie that kept you guessing, or even someone whose presence made you feel intrigued and curious. That's the magic of unpredictability. And when it comes to relationships, unpredictability isn't about playing games or keeping secrets. It's about being so dynamic, so full of life, that he can't help but be drawn to the mystery of you. Queens, the moment you stop being predictable is the moment you become unforgettable. Too often, we fall into patterns in relationships. We text him at the same time every day. We always say yes to his plans, and we make ourselves so available that there's nothing left for him to discover. While consistency is important, it's the element of surprise that sparks desire. When he can predict every move you'll make, the excitement fades. But when you step back and start living a life that surprises even yourself, you create a kind of magnetism that he can't ignore. As Rumi said, don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. You are a mystery worth unfolding, and the more you embrace that, the more irresistible you become. Think of the moon. Its phases are ever-changing, yet it remains constant in its beauty. People look up at it, wondering what phase it's in tonight, marveling at its glow. The moon doesn't explain itself, and it doesn't ask for attention. It simply exists in its unpredictable rhythm, and we're drawn to it. That's the energy you need to embody. Don't make him the center of your world. Make your world so intriguing, so alive, that he can't help but want to be a part of it. Unpredictability doesn't mean chaos or inconsistency. It means keeping a spark of mystery alive. It's not about withholding love or attention. It's about being a woman who continues to evolve, to surprise, to inspire. When you invest in your passions, try new things, and live boldly, you show him that your life is vibrant with or without him. Queens, there's nothing more captivating than a woman who's not afraid to grow. He'll be drawn to the excitement, the fire, the sense that there's always more to you than meets the eye. Imagine a flame flickering in the dark. Its light shifts, dances, and moves in ways you don't expect, yet it remains steady and warm. You don't look away because it keeps you wondering, keeps you drawn in. That's the power of unpredictability in relationships. It's not about being distant. It's about showing him that your light has many facets. He'll never stop looking because he'll know there's always more to discover, more to learn, and more to admire. In relationships, predictability can make you feel safe, but it can also make you feel stuck. When you always say yes, when you always prioritize him over yourself, you lose the spark that makes you magnetic. Queens, unpredictability is about reclaiming your energy and using it to fuel your growth. It's about showing him and yourself that you are more than just someone waiting for his attention. You are a woman with dreams, passions, and a life that doesn't revolve around him. The truth is, when you stop being predictable, you allow him to wonder. Wonder leads to curiosity, and curiosity leads to desire. When he doesn't know what your next move will be, when he sees you thriving, exploring, and creating, he'll start to realize what an incredible woman you are. And by then, you'll be so focused on your own happiness that his attention will feel like a bonus, not the goal. Queens, unpredictability is the essence of desire because it keeps the story alive. When you are unpredictable, you're not playing games, you're living your truth. You're reminding him and yourself that you are a dynamic, ever-evolving woman, and that's the kind of energy that doesn't just attract, it captivates. So, stop waiting for permission to be amazing. Start living your life in bold, beautiful, unexpected ways. The love you're looking for will find you when you're too busy building a life that lights you up. Remember, Queens, you are the fire, the mystery, and the story worth telling. Write this affirmation in the comments. I am the mystery he can't resist. Claim it, own it, and let it guide you. And if this message inspired you, Queens, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working tirelessly to bring you lessons that remind you of your worth and help you step into your power. Number 8. Become his calm in a chaotic world. Have you ever noticed how, in the middle of chaos, we're naturally drawn to calm? Think of a storm at sea, wild waves crashing, winds roaring, and then picture a lighthouse standing steady, unshaken. That's the kind of energy we're talking about. When the world feels unpredictable, when everything seems too much, people are instinctively drawn to what feels safe, grounded, and unshakable. And Queens, in the world of relationships, you can become that lighthouse. The woman who stands calm and radiant, no matter how chaotic life feels. When you embody this energy, he won't just be drawn to you. He'll feel like he's found something he didn't even realize he was searching for. Too often, we think we need to fight for someone's attention, prove ourselves, show how much we care, or even exhaust ourselves trying to fix everything for him. But here's the truth. Nothing is more attractive than a woman who knows her worth, who doesn't need to chase, and who holds her calm even when the world is anything but. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Becoming his calm doesn't mean bending over backward for him. It means being the woman who doesn't let chaos steal her peace. Imagine a river flowing steadily, undisturbed by the rocks in its path. It doesn't stop or panic. It simply moves around the obstacles, carrying its strength and grace forward. That's the energy you want to embody. Life might throw challenges your way. Relationships may test your patience. But when you remain steady, when you don't let outside storms shake your inner peace, you become unforgettable. He'll see that in you, and he won't want to let it go. Relationships are about balance. When a man feels overwhelmed by the chaos in his own life, he doesn't need someone who adds to it. He needs someone who brings calm, not by solving all his problems, but by showing him what it looks like to stay steady under pressure. It's not about being his savior or fixing him. It's about being so rooted in your own strength that your presence alone feels like a breath of fresh air. Think of a candle in a dark room. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't fight against the darkness. It simply glows, and in doing so, it transforms everything around it. That's the kind of energy that draws people in. When you're calm, confident, and self-assured, you don't have to chase anyone. They'll naturally be drawn to the peace you carry within you. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It's about knowing how to protect your peace, even when things aren't easy. Queens, hear me clearly. You don't need to be his solution. You don't need to take on his chaos as your own. What you need is to show him what it looks like to rise above the noise, to live with grace and purpose, even when life feels messy. When you stop reacting to every little thing, when you don't let the chaos of a moment steal your calm, you shift the dynamic. You become the woman he turns to, not because he needs you to fix him, but because he feels safe in your presence. And safety, queens, is what every heart craves. A calm woman in a chaotic world is like water in a desert, rare, refreshing, and unforgettable. You've cried enough over people who didn't see your worth. You've fought enough for people who didn't deserve your energy. Now is the time to reclaim your power and become the calm, radiant force that transforms every space you walk into. When you focus on your own peace and growth, when you prioritize your joy and strength, you don't just attract him, you inspire him. So, queens, let me leave you with this. You are the lighthouse in the storm. You are the steady flame in the dark. And when you stand firm in your calm, you don't need to chase anyone. The right one will be drawn to you because of the strength and serenity you carry within. Repeat this affirmation with me. I am his calm in a chaotic world. My peace is my power. Write this in the comments, queens, and claim it as your truth. Let the world know you're stepping into your light and owning your worth. If this message spoke to your heart, if it reminded you of the strength and beauty you hold, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're here for you, working hard to bring you life-changing lessons that help you rise, thrive, and claim your crown. Let's build this together, queens, because your story is just beginning.